Hello everybody and welcome to the stream. Hopefully this will run and it's not going to crash like it did last time. Fingers crossed, eh? I need an audio visual check. Is it a bit too loud for you voice wise? I've just had to move my mic a bit further away because it was a bit close. Career should be okay. But someone's going to have to let me know. Continue. This might take an age to load as well. I'm not going to use cosplay because that's still broken. I'm not going to use that one because that's broken. It doesn't work. I'm going to use that one. I'm going to use the lumberjack one. This is where my computer now has a nervous breakdown for the first few seconds. Oops, sorry, as I hit the mic. I hope you guys and girls are alright. Oh, hello Sinky, welcome to the stream, young man. Hope you're well. Audio sounds fine, thank you very much, sir. You didn't get the weather that we got, did you? That's why I haven't been doing any recordings or streaming recently. Because it was so hot. My computer, even when I turned it on, it was just like right, I know I need to do that in my headset because my headset is really loud. Tab over. I'll tell you what I did forget to do. Yes, so I need to come back out again, don't I? First of all, sorry peeps. Save. Quit. Yes. Oh, you got a bit of the sun as well. That's all right then. Because it's beautiful. It's been beautiful. It was, well, one day. Now, I've been off for the last 2 weeks. I say I've been off. The first week I wasn't actually off. I was actually putting a fence up for my dad. And that was in that week where we had the hottest days. And it was sweltering. And I'm trying to dig out... what am I trying to do? I'm trying to go into career. That's right. Let me just... find what mod we need. That one. Give that a try. And I'm going to put that on. I'm probably going to regret that. Come on, select. Don't be silly. But we can take it back out if we need to. Don't know how much it affect the gameplay by doing that, but I can always get it back up and replace the original game file. Yeah, I was having to put a fence up, and the first few days wasn't too bad. It's hot, but when I'm trying to dig metal post spikes out of the ground to get them out of the ground. And it's sweltering, it's getting pretty warm, and I'm just literally sweat's just pouring off me. Right. First things first, I need to is it this one? I need to return that. I was testing these out. So if it rented them out. Said they were any good. They're not bad mods. I've got to select them, but return, yeah. Didn't sort of like test them, but I sort of like drove them around. They're not bad. Right, anyway. Stay here. This needs to go back on the trailer. Tell you what I did forget to put on. Track IR! Yay! So I'm going to need to come back out the game again. Before I do any of that, let me just drive. No, you're going to get in my way, aren't you, Mr. Car? And that tree's going to get in my way as well. So I wonder if I can be cheeky and just... This is where it crashed on me last time, but I figured out what I was doing wrong. Because the update, all the keys have been unbinded. So I should have rebinded. So I should have rebinded them, but it hasn't rebinded them. Yay! Right, okay. Just to be awkward, even though I've done this several times before. That one I'm looking for it. Go down and down and down. Sorry peeps. This isn't looking at menu simulator. There will be farming simulator. Thing is, I've done this like already today. I came in here and I deliberately did all this. Whereabouts are you? Placeable camera, pause game, open menu, toggle next, crouch, vehicle lights, radio, course play, no, super strength, yes. Press the key you would like. I'd like that key, please. Those have saved. Saved successfully, thank you very much. I bet you, oops. I bet you anything and anything, that's going to still forget I've done that. This is what we did last time. That is also the downside of the dev console. No! Ah, you done this last time. Exactly what you did last time, you stupid. Ah, there we go. No. Sorry, peeps. You gonna behave? Right. That's obviously not super strength. Oh, it's lumberjack super strength. Okay. How do I unbind that? It should be down here then. Super strength. I don't want. What I want is manual attach. Active workshop. Open tools menu. That's the one I want. Yes. Now save. Save successfully. Hello, Gaming Kev. How the devil are you? Nice to see you in the chat. Game Mojo's a bit too loud. Thanks for that. Right, okay. How can I adjust that? I can adjust that through here. Surely. Is that a bit better? If not, I will adjust in game. If I can adjust in game. Sounds, yeah, there we go. I'll turn it to about 80 and try that. Okay, you let me know, yeah, because the combine's a bit loud, isn't it? Right. Right. Now, you're going to be silly, aren't you? Because yeah, just because you're going to be silly. Right. Sounds quieter in my ears. F12, yes. Toggle super strength, yes. Cheat. Never saw this. This never happened. Look the other way. I didn't just lift that trailer up by hand. Oh, I've got to do some funky stuff as well. Time to do some sketchy stuff. Doo-da, doo-da. Hope I get away with it. All the do-a day. All the do-a night. All the do-a day. Time to do some sketchy stuff. Doo-da. That's the family-friendly version of it. Now, are you gonna let me detach? See. PTO? Or are you going to be awkward with me? Yeah, you're going to let me detach. Good. Don't know what it's doing that for, but it's doing that anyway. Detach. How's the sound now? To be fair, I haven't played it for a while. I've come in, updated mods, briefly sort of like drove around and sort of like did a few bits and pieces, and that's it. I haven't actually played the game much since probably when I last played the live stream on it, and that's when it crashed. But before that was like the last time it was working. Time to do some sketchy stuff. Doo-da, doo-da. Hope I get away with it. Oh, the doo-da day. I haven't put that anywhere near where I want it to be. You're probably all sitting there going, well, why did he just take the manual attach off? I should really. It's only on this one you have problems. Does it need to go forward a bit more? There it goes. Anyway, farmers are strong. They don't actually need a tractor. They can pull a header trailer around with the head on it, all by themselves. In real life, I've seen them do it. They actually pick it up with one finger. But yeah, I'm going to have to turn track IR on. Well, it matters. Actually, I can just use the mouse. Went to look out the window then, but I couldn't. I'll turn track IR once we get this back to the farm. I've got them on. No, I'm not. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely on the right side of the road. I think old Oxygen Dave's. I thought about playing on that map. Actually, these other. Whoa! Mr. Citroen, get out my way! I'm going to run you over. Run you over then. That's how it's going to be. I was going to play on one of the. I forget what's name of the Oxygen Dave's farm. He's working on another one. That looks quite like a good map, actually. But I figured, no, let's just make a start on the new precision farming DLC. So I actually had a quick look at it briefly, and actually. There's a few little extra pieces to the whole precision farming thing. It actually makes it quite interesting. I'll go into that in a minute once I get back to the farm. And I'll look at the comments. I can see them rolling down. Gonna need more diesel and more AdBlue as well. Yeah, I see you've been playing Red Dead, Game Kev. You uploaded a few videos of that. I've also played that for a while. I forget how far I got into that game. He's going to keep beeping at me, so I'll just move this combine in. He's still going to probably beep at me. Do you want a chainsaw? Do you want a chainsaw, mate? Do you want a chainsaw to the face? You can get past that. Get a bus past that. There you go. Stop this moaning. Probably too far away from the pressure washer now. Red Dead Online? I haven't played Red Dead Online. I played a few games of poker on there. But it was taking up quite a lot of space on my hard drive, so I had to sort of like ditch it when I got into the game. This header trailer can go over here. don't want to repaint it, so I want to repair it. Thank you. Part of me's tempted to repaint it, but then it just takes the whole fun out of the game. Farm yard equipment's meant to look a bit tired. Apart from when it's brand spanking new. It looks all nice and new and shiny. When it's a bit tired and worn like this is. Now, this would be fun, because I've not yet tested this refill mod out. So I'm going to be blindly testing it. First, let's wash it, and repair it, and refill it. That'll do. That'll do, donkey, that'll do. Why won't you let me use washer? No, get out. No, I don't want to sell it. I want to use it. No, I don't want to sell it. I told you. No. I have no idea why that's doing that. There we go. Maybe you've got to face away from it. Don't look towards it, face away from it. A bit like, was it the ghost from Mario? As soon as you look at them, they freeze, but if you look away, they start coming towards you. That's nice and clean. Not shiny anymore, but clean. Now, how does the refill work? This would be interesting, because I don't know how this... No, I don't want to repair it. Maybe I've just got to press enter. Open vehicle options. That's repair, isn't it? Yeah, I don't want to repair it yet. I want to refill it. Maybe I should have looked at the menu. Pick up object, throw object, search hand tool. Maybe I should come out of the game and find... Let's actually... Sorry guys, let's switch that off. It does save, so I don't need to save it, but I'll save it again. Just be on the safe side. Save. Quit game. Are you sure? Because I glossed over what the mod description was. I didn't read it. No. Brain, what are you doing? Right. It should be in my installed. Right, okay. Is modification... Okay. Few screenshots. Is it R to refill it? I get a funny... Actually, it could be F, couldn't it? Yeah, I think I've oh, the Hofbergman map. Yeah, yeah. Doesn't that from port over from the previous incarnation of Farming Simulator? And while I'm at it, oh, I need to. No. Right, okay. Okay, 2 secs, peeps. Let me just go back to this screen here. Because I need to, in order to, I need to come out of this. Start that. Come on. Start that. Then start that again. No, I haven't seen the demo out for that. I haven't been on my computer. Go away. I haven't been on my computer for over 2 weeks. I'll have to have a look at that. That might be worth videoing. Anyway, I need to switch that back over. Because I want to play that. Right, options. I need keyboard options, please. Right, now I need to find... what the default key is for that. If not, I'm going to just have to disable that mod. And this has all been for nothing. Turn right. Radio. Course play. Not super strength. Manual. Activate workshop. Power tools. Okay. I wish there was a way you could find the mod or find the key binding easily. I might just disable it or change the workshop to something else. Activate workshop. Okay, I'll change that to something else. What can I change that to? Will it let me do that? Yes, it will. Cool. The only downside is now, is that gonna be... We'll find out. Back. Career. If it doesn't work now, I'm going to give up and just disable it. Well, not even bother using it. Yeah. Oh, just reload from a backup. Yeah, could try that, I guess. It's only some of the controls they've forgotten. For the mods, mainly. The other controls, it was fine. The standard controls, it remembers it all. But the mod stuff, it seems to be like, every time I reload the game, it just... Really, game? You're going to do that again? Right, let's get rid of that. I think. No, it hasn't. No, 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 no. Stop it. Stop it. That's the one I want to get rid of. That. Good. Tab. 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 That's the only downside as well. I think track IR is also the same button as the super strength thing. Not to worry. Right. At least it's running a lot smoother now. It used to run like a bag of spanners when I came into this. Right, will they let me fill up this now? Maybe I'll leave. No, it won't. So I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. It might hang on. It might because that was the AdBlue. Let me try the diesel. That might be a different kettle of fish. Yeah, the thingy's no longer there. So, there we go. But it was R, so I needed to sort that out anyway. You need to stand out. So that's not a bad thing. I'm not wasting diesel. Just pouring diesel all over the place. No, I'm not. It does actually cut out. Apart from it's not a petrol tank, diesel tank. But it's a tank. Fuel tank would be the right terminology. I'm going to just double check that's actually... Oh, yeah, it's taken a very sweet long time to do it. There we go. Cool. Guess that is realistic. Hate to use that term because it'd be like Daggerwin. Daggerwin. Makes the game more immersive. That's my interpretation. I'm going to stick with it. And where does this live? Does this live over here? It normally lives over here. Right. That can stay there. And now I can repair it. Which is no longer R, it's that one. Repair. Yes. Just do it in the game reset. Yeah, I will do. I've got things going now, so I can scrape by. I don't want to make the whole stream me faffing around with Button Simulator. Right. Been enough of that already. How long have we done? What, half hour of me faffing around with buttons, coming in and out of game. So professional. Now, why do I need to sell this ideally? But I'll fill it up first. It's not nearly full yet. And I'll get oh, that needs to go as well. Now which button is that? I think it's not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Oh. I'll leave it on there. Can't remember which button it is to. Might be F1? No, F2. Yeah, it's F2. F2 to remove the FPS counter. Now I've got to. No, come on, game. And now my track IR is going to completely stop working. Yay! Just for fun. Because I pressed the random F keys. To turn in the track IR didn't help me at all. Now my thingy's locked as well, so I've got to figure out which one that was, which one I pressed. Not that one. Not that one. That one. Right, cool. No! Will you go away? Not you, peeps. I mean the bars and the lines and stuff. That's the problem when you've unlocked the dev console. It does all that crazy stuff and press random buttons that doesn't normally do anything when you press them, but you've accidentally pressed them with your steering wheel, then you kind of get issues. Get issues with tissues. Right, let's fill this up. Right. I've forgotten how to hire an employee now. I think it's in here. The one that I'm in, so it's the Massey Ferguson. Create job. Load and deliver. Actually, I better check prices first. What's the best price? I've forgotten. Oh, it's up here, isn't it? This best prices. Good. So we've got oat. Oh, of course, it's all down right now. Fine. I'll tell you what then, it can go back in the... and I'll sell it once it goes up. The only downside is I do need to fill this up with straw. But it's not a big issue. Big issue, big issue, get your big issue here. Anyway, I'll quickly show you, if you guys haven't seen what the whole DLC does now. If I go into the map, go to there, see these little symbols here? That kind of gives you like the soil values and everything. But also, I think this, also it kind of rates you on how environmentally friendly you are as well. See this environmental score, and it's set to 50%. Now obviously you start using vehicles on there, it starts going down more. I think that's how it works from reading the buff that comes with the DLC. So if you start driving stuff on there, the environmental side of it starts declining. So, but it's a bit naughty really on FCS from Giant's side I should say, because there isn't enough electric equipment in the game for you to mitigate against that. There's only that one small tractor, and that's electric. And I guess it was the other biofuel stuff, methane-powered ones or whatever it is. That's still technically burning a gas, so that's still not exactly environmentally friendly. But that's how I think it works anyway, from what I've read in the manual. Or on the guff that's on the main page to help you understand how it works. And the downside now, I have reset the dead zone on my wheel now for this, so it shouldn't feel like driving a super tank around all the time. The only downside to that is now every time, because it's I've set it to 0%. So if the wheel's slightly moved at all, when I get into a tractor it comes up with please start engine now. I'll do a bit of this. We'll soon see, because I'll drive across this and just see what happens to that score. It starts going down because we use a diesel engine across a field of straw. And again using a diesel engine to get the mulcher out over it. Doing some burnouts around them because Glastonbury's coming up thick and fast as well. I know Guildfest is coming up, and then you've got Redfest, Reading Festival, and Glastonbury. They all come up the same sort of time. How's the sound now, peeps? Sound better? Oh, the Glastonbury you're talking about? Yeah. It's on BBC Two, yeah. Cool, thank you. Yeah. I don't know how much it is this year. I know last year, well, not last year, but the year before, just before, obviously, the big COVID hit, then, before that was like 800 quid a pop. Get it, just sit in a field next to a bunch of other sweaty people who are all probably off their head on drugs or alcohol, and then queue up for 4 hours to wait for a loo. And then sleep in a tent. Sounds like a lot of fun, that. It's the experience. I've done a Glastonbury. Many years ago, but I've done a Glastonbury. And I've done a Guildfest. And I've done a Reading Festival as well. And that's exactly what it was. Standing in a muddy field next to a load of other people that are sweating, drunk. Of course you're drunk as well, which helps. I can see myself running out of space on this. I'm sorry, I've gone quiet because I'm concentrating, believe it or not. Yeah, so, but when I was very young, I did do a Glastonbury and a Redfest and a Guildfest. And exactly, we got drunk, very drunk. I know our tent leaked as well. And the car we were in, that got stuck. So ironically enough, it was an old, it was a mini Countryman. Old mini, now it was not the new ones, very old, one of the old Mark 1s, maybe Mark 2 mini Countryman, the flat fronts. They weren't the prettiest of looking minis. But they got stuck. It broke down several times on the way there. And I had being me, being a mechanic, it's like, Kev, look at it. Okay. It's dizzy cap. It was the first time the dizzy cap had worked itself loose. Second time, it just got a bit hot, so it needed to cool off. I think the third time was, yeah, I think it was just the dizzy cap had sort of like come loose again. Because the problem was, it was like the clips that are holding it in weren't the original clips that meant for it. So the whole cap, what happened is, as the engine got warm, the little clips sort of like start moving around, and then the whole dizzy cap just start moving around. The rotor arm wasn't particularly good on it as well. That was pretty tired. The thing wasn't very well loved. Very neglected. I was like, well, once you get it back from Glastonbury, bring it round to my place, and we'll give it a good service, because it needs good service. I won't charge like full rate for my services. You're going to have to pay for the parts. I'm not paying for the parts for it. So once we got it back, I did give it a good overall. I got it right. I got the right clips. I managed to actually find a new seal for the distributor cap as well. I managed to actually find one in a scrapper. The problem is, what had happened is, when they changed the distributor cabs over, there was like a little rubber donut on the inside, to stop water getting into the distributor. Now, when people change them with aftermarket, non-legit parts, the new cap wouldn't have said bit to it, and unfortunately now you can't get the genuine parts from anyway now. So, luckily enough, I managed to go into a scrapyard, and I actually found one that was a dizzy cap that actually had one in it. So what I managed to do, I managed to get the actual donut ring out of it without destroying it, and then modify it to modify the dizzy cap to put the donut ring back in it. And I said to him at the time, I said to him, whatever you do, whenever you take it to a garage, mention to them that you want the donut ring out of the dizzy cap to be moved over, because otherwise if they don't, then you're gonna have the same problems again when it gets wet. Because every time it rained, the thing would cut out, or got water in it, the thing would cut out. Drop that. Pick up the thing. Technically, I could actually start mulching one of the fields. I might do that in a minute. Or get a worker to start mulching one of the fields, because I don't know if it's going to make any difference to the soil report. That's fault. Right, let's just quickly turn that off. And let's just quickly look at the... Although I haven't done the whole soil sampling yet, I've got to go and get that. In fact, I've actually got to buy the equipment. So that's not changed, I don't think. I've been on this field over here. Might take a while. There you go. Yeah, it doesn't actually tell me on there. Economical analysis field 30. Maybe it's something that happens over time, I don't know. Might have just misread it as well. Let's quickly tab. Yes, I know. Tab. 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 Yes, I know. Shush. Is there any more tractors? Smaller tractors around here? There is, but they're behind this, so... Ah! Straight into the pillar. One of those can get them do the mulching. Mind you, this has had blue. And I think, does the Massey have AdBlue? Have a quick look. Yes, the Massey also has AdBlue, and I think the John Deere over here also has AdBlue. So the AdBlue may negate the whole diesel aspect, although technically it doesn't, because all AdBlue does is it doesn't destroy the rubbish that's coming out of the exhaust. It just makes it heavier, so it doesn't go into the atmosphere. It just sinks to the ground. So technically, you are just still polluting, just not sending it up into the atmosphere as quick. I think this can actually do mulching, if I remember right. Do I need a weight for the mulch? I probably will need the weight. I'm using this. Pretty sure this can do mulching. Find out in a minute. this have a... doesn't have a PTO, but it does have cables to attach to it. V means up. Yeah, this is alright. Get the mulcher out. Start the mulchering. Get it right, Kevin. Actually get it in the right place. Higher, says me. And then he's off and away doing his... yeah, tractor stuff. Now, technically, this is a dirty diesel. Because this doesn't have the AdBlue. So technically should... if this thing's right and what I read, then that should make that unhappy, should make the field unhappy, and then your environmental side of it, because you've used a dirty diesel on it. Not a clean, efficient diesel, you used a dirty diesel. Right, this is full, so we need to take this back to the main farm. Yeah, I tell you what, although my dad does drive me mad sometimes, when I was doing the fence paddling, I was doing a classic hymn. He was sitting there going, why don't you pour some water down that hole where that post is, the post spike is, and soften the ground up, and then you'd probably find it easier to pull the post out, because all I had to try and pull this said post out was a shovel and a big lever bar. Well, actually it was a lever bar and one of my old tyre lever bars, because I didn't want to wreck my decent lever bars trying to leave a rusty bit of metal out of the ground. So I had a slightly tired old lever bar and this tyre lever bar as well, so and I was just ignoring him. Well, I wasn't ignoring him and I was hearing him, but in my head I was like, well, the problem is if we start pouring water into the ground, what's going to happen is the water's going to get behind the spike, and then go underneath where the spike is, and then it's just going to act like a big giant suction cup, and it's just going to stick the spike to the ground. That's what, and when I'm trying to pull up on it, it's just going to act against the force of all the mud. So I just kept on going on regardless, trying to pull these things out, and I did pull most of the ones out in the front garden out. Actually, all of the ones out in the front garden out. I pulled. What did I do over here somewhere? I pulled. Forgot where I got to. I think it was that. Yeah, it was that one over there. That matters. They're all going to be the same. We're going to have to get around to doing them. Yeah, so when I got round to the back garden to do some of them there, I was like, he was saying the same thing again. He said, well, pour some water in it, soften the ground up. And I said, Dad, we've had this conversation so many times, it's probably not going to do it any good. It's just going to... it's just going to act, it's going to make the ground all gloopy, and then it's just going to make it harder to pull the thing out. And then, because I kind of got a bit angry, I walked away a bit, and I did some work. I thought I needed a bit of a break from doing it anyway, so I walked away, and then I came back and I was just like, all right, okay, just to keep the old man quiet, I'm gonna try the water trick, and then say that, see, now we're even more of a worse off position than we are. And I got a big tub of water and I poured some in, and then I got the bar out, and then I started jiggling it about, and then I was like, and it just went, and it span a lot quicker, and then broke the soil a lot quicker, and then it moved a lot quicker. And I was like, why didn't I just do this from the beginning? I've wasted pretty much a whole half a day pulling out fence post spikes. We couldn't reuse them again because they're knackered. They're rusty. If you're wondering why we didn't reuse them, because they're rusty. All the fins that the posts go into were all bent and tired, and so you couldn't, even if you did put a new post into it, it wouldn't sit in there right. And I don't like using those post spikes because of that problem. After about a year or so, the posts start obviously shrinking or expanding, contracting with moisture. And because they do that, they kind of lose, the spikes lose their grip around the post. So then the post is just sitting in there freely inside the post spike. I've been rubbish today. Inside the post spike. So, and that's when all it needs then is a bit of wind to push it about a bit more, and then it just starts pulling the post up. And that's exactly what I always find when you go to try and remove them. 9 times out of 10, you get the post out, you don't get the post spike out, because the post spike stays in the ground. But then you look at the bottom of the post where it's been in the spike, and it's all like gnarly, and it's all rotten, and it's got big gouges out of it where the post spikes cut out holes out of it, and because again its wind's been moving it around, it's bent all the post spike up. So, and all of them are pretty much the same, so we had to take them out. I prefer using postcrete myself, because all you do is to dig the hole, sort of square hole, to about a metre and a half down, probably a bit further than that, well, 2 metres if you like, but a metre is probably the max you want to dig down, 1.5 metres. And then, well, I say a metre, foot. Dig a foot and a half down, and then make a nice, obviously square hole if it's a square post you're using. If it's a round post you're using, make it a round hole. If you've got a decent post hole digger, then you're great. But I was just using a conventional spade. I didn't have one there, but I was just using a conventional spade. I didn't want to buy one just for this job, so. Once you've done that, then you obviously pour your water in. Well, you put your post in first. Make sure it's all like level with your post levels. Post level, which is just like a spirit level, but it's like a clamp shape thing. It's like in a square shape. It clamps around the side. Well, it clamps around the post itself. And then obviously make sure it's all nice, and that was Dad's job. Dad was chief, make sure it was level. He was feeling bad that he couldn't do anything. So I said, well, that's your job. You can stand there, watch the level, and keep the posts straight while I'm pouring the water and concrete in and everything else. And that's, your goal job make sure you do it right, because if you mess it up, once that's the concrete sets really quick, and once it starts setting, we can't touch the post at all then, because if you start moving the post round while it's setting, it wrecks the postcrete, and you might as well just pull it all out and start again. You'd have to literally dig the cement out while it's still setting, and that's not nice. So that was his job. His job was to make sure the post was all nice and straight and flush while I poured the water in and poured the postcrete in. I over-ordered, because technically you should use 1 bag per post, and when I advise customers when they're buying stuff like postcrete or whatever, or doing stuff like that, I always say buy more than you need. I say technically you need 1 bag per post, but you can get away with half a bag per post. All depends on how, again, if you've dug the right size hole, then you would need the full bag. But if you've dug a slightly shallower hole like we had, then you can probably get away with half a bag. So I had ordered 10 bags because we had 10 posts, but we only needed half of them. I think we used, so it was like 5.5 bags we had left. Obviously we can't give get a refund on the postcrete, and the 1 post, again, I overestimated on posts, because the way it was, problem is that it'd been sat with knackered panels and that for at least 2 months, because Dad was deciding on what he wanted to get done, and I pushed him towards having Arris rails, and then I could literally make the fence up using feather edge panels, not feather edge, but using feather edge, and then using my nail gun to just nail them in. But we kept them going round and round in circles, because I kept on saying, look Dad, both the same sort of, it'll look a lot better. The fence will actually fit around the drive rather than it just being a botched job like it was before. And if we do have to, and it'd be easy to maintain in the long run, because then we won't have to replace a whole panel. All I have to do is replace a section. And he just kept them going. We kept them going round and round. He said, that's more work. And I said, well, it may be more work short term, but it'd save me. It'd look better, and it'd be less work long term. And we just kept them going round in circles. The same conversation, and the same conversation, and the same conversation, and the same conversation. And it's just like with the. Oh, what are we going to do on the fence panel front? Right, Dad, we've had this conversation so many times already. You've got 2 options. Arris rails or panels. Panels won't fit unless you get them tailor-made to fit, which make them very expensive, because we'd have to go to a specialist fencing company to get them to make them to the size. And then you're looking at, rather than a couple of £100 for some panels, you're probably looking up towards £1,000 for a load of panels, because they're tailor-made to your specific size. And we're going to need to get it bang on if you're going to go that route, because if we get it wrong, then it's going to be horrible. Or just do the option which I told him about, which was the whole Arris rail option. Arris rail and feather edge, which I wanted to do because that would have been so much better looking. But we just kept on going round and asking the same question again and again and again and again and again. And after about sort of like 20, 30 times of me and him having the same conversation, I snapped and I said, just go for the panels. Just get the panels, Dad. Cheap, easy, get it done. Because I don't want to have this conversation anymore. And then he goes, oh, okay. And so then we go and order them. Problem is, we can't order the panels he wants. He wanted 6 for 3s in the front and 6 for 4s in the drive. But because of the panel shortage everyone's got at the moment, we couldn't get 6 for 4s. We'd had to actually put the 6 for 3s in his car. Ironic thing is, this is the thing that made me laugh so much. Is like, he said, well, we're not going to get all of them in the car because the headrests. I said, Dad, the headrests come out. He goes, well, no they don't. I said, yes they do. They come out. And he goes, they don't. And right, okay. We can have this conversation so as long as you like, mate, but I'm going to prove you wrong in a minute. So we got them to the back of his car. I go in and click, click, out comes the headrest. Click, click, out comes the headrest. There you go, Dad. How do you do that? The button on the side of the headrest that just releases the headrest. And it's like, oh, so we can get these in quite easy then. Yeah. I said that from the beginning, but you didn't listen. That should be full. So we still got 6 for 3s. We had to take them by hand. I said to him, look, you only literally live 2 minutes walk from the store. Just borrow one of their trolleys and we'll put the 6 for 4s on ourselves. Because they had 6 for 4s there, but this wasn't delivering 6 for 4s. He said, oh yeah, but no, it's too much hassle. Like, well, then we're going to have to just go for the 6 for 5s again then. And then so we ordered it all, and then over the weekend he starts talking to me on the phone, and he's just like, he's sitting there, goes, well, actually I think we should have went down your idea, the Harris rails. I was like, I wanted to literally smack my head against the brick wall so hard to knock myself out. Because now he's making an argument to the fact that we're going the way he wanted to go rather than the way I wanted to go anyway. And I said, well, it's too late now, Dad. We've gone down this route. I said, good thing of what we're doing now is at least we're actually making a proper job with the posts. So the posts will probably outlast the panels. So if the panels do break, we could always just get some Irish rails and I can cut them up. And then we can do it that way. Did I still? Is there somewhere over there? I think. Not sure. But I got it done, and to be fair, and I hate to blow my own trumpet, it doesn't look bad for a botched job. It looks a lot better than it did, admittedly, if there's fence panels leaning all over the place, rotten hell. Our flight sim. I'm just reading the comments. Yeah, there's, I don't think my PC can run flight sim. In fact, I know my PC can't run flight sim. Sorry if it took me ages to read your comment. I got so into the whole fence post shenanigans. At least you learnt about how to do fence posts, if you didn't know that before. But it doesn't look too bad, actually. Problem is, 2 of the panels overlap, because, like I said, it isn't quite 6 foot. It's not quite 2 panels across. It's 1.5 panels across. So I'd say 6. Yes, 9 foot roughly. No, I don't have a Game Pass. You mean the Microsoft Game Pass, don't you? No, I don't have that. You have to pay so much money for it every year, don't you? Because I don't have an Xbox anymore, I didn't bother with it. I think that tractor's done over here, so I'm going to get him. Save diesel. Oh, let me out the cab. Thank you. I'll get rid of the... Yeah. Right, you can move here. The funniest thing was trying to keep Sherman in, our tortoise, because obviously that's a big escape. That was my primary concern, was him escaping. So I said, right, Dad, I said, your other job, other than being chief post holder, you need to think up a good way of keeping Sherman from escaping, because once I take this fence down, we're going to need to leave the posts in at least overnight to let them properly set. Even though it does say they're cured within 5 minutes of setting, I like to leave them a good few hours, at least 4 to 8 hours, just so then I know that they're set and they're not going to move around once I start putting them load on them. And a lot of the fences do say the same thing, is put the posts in, if you can use post grit, leave them overnight and then they're set. But then he had to build this stupid And I said, okay, I said, that will work. That bit, he used an old bit of trellis and an old bit of fence, the broken fence we had, and kind of put it between like the path and the shed. Well, between the pond and the shed, so we couldn't get through that way. The other bit he made was such a botch. It was a load of pots put together, a load of slates and that, sort of like jutted up so you couldn't push past it. And I was like, I said, Dad, you'd be better off actually taking that down the other end of towards the pump where the pump is, rather than this end, because he can probably push past the side of that. No, he'll be alright. Okay. I'm not going to have this conversation with your dad. So, and I was sitting there and I'm working on this fence, trying to get the panels up on my own. And he wasn't even up yet. I was up early in the morning because I wanted to try getting sort of a lot of it done before the baking midday sun. Because by the time it came midday, it was just too hot for me to be working. I'd go out, do about 10 minutes of work, come back in, go out, do another 10 minutes of work, get a panel in, go back in. Or go out, do a bit, come back in, grab a drink, go out, do a bit, and do that sort of thing. I say 10 minutes, I was probably doing more than 10 minutes of work. But I was literally taking breaks literally all the time, just because I didn't want to dehydrate, because the amount of water that's dripping off me, sweat that's dripping off me. I didn't want to, the problem is if I dehydrated and passed out in this garden, I don't think he'd know what to do with me, so that's full. Okay, I knew that was coming, but we do have a backup now. We can put it over here. Push comes to shove, we can just sell it as well. You can let me dump it in here? Please say you can let me dump it in here. Use a free pass. Oh, did I actually have did I have a free pass? Yeah, that's like the Amazon dealio though, isn't it? It's like it lets you quietly forget that you're just about to expire out, and then does look like a good game though, Microsoft Flight. A friend of mine, he's got it. Thing is, I haven't played Flight Simulator since 2018. That's the last time I played a Flight Simulator. I used to like them, but then I just they got a bit rinse and repeat. You sit there and you just put it on autopilot, and then you fly it, let the thing fly itself. But it's just, you know, because I think also it gives you other games as well. You get a load of other free games with the Flight, with the Game Pass, don't you? From what I've been told. Yeah, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2018. I think I had the other one as well. I remember I had the one with the Concorde in it. I think that's 2011. No, it's the one for that. Because I remember I actually had the one. You could actually still had the Twin Towers. Because they changed and edited the game after that, didn't they? What are we trying to do? We are starting that up and driving that. I need to go for a wee in a minute, so I'll go and that's the downside of eating a big pizza. I had a pizza just before the stream. It's going through me now. I might also have a bit of energy. Gonna wake me up a bit as well. What did I do over here? I didn't do over here. Whoa, got a bit of a tank slapper then. Yeah, 2002, yeah. No, I think there was another one. So I'm sure there's definitely a 2018. I'm sure there's a 2018. Because I had like I had an anniversary edition one as well. Oh, okay. This is what's doing that then. Oh, okay. No, I had that down in the first place. No, it matters. I did used to play them a lot when I was younger. I just got to say, I got sick of them in the end. I like playing with the older, I had the Dakotas, or like anything the prop stuff. Jets are alright, but I like prop stuff better. Now I remember another game, I forget. I think it's called Wing Over. Yeah, Wing Over 2. I think it was called. That was on the PlayStation, I think. Yeah, it was on PlayStation. Play PS1. This is back in PS1 days. That was a good flying game because you could set up like mini dogfights, or if you just wanted to go for a fly, you could. And the map was quite big. And it had a range of planes in it. For a console game, it wasn't too bad. Go outside quickly. A bit of external shot. Don't drive it too well in third person anymore. Don't drive bad still. Oh, that's full. Well, landing is actually the landing is the hardest part of flying. Everyone struggles with landing. Even I struggled with landing. It's the hardest part of flying. Taking off is the most dangerous part of flying. Landing is the hardest part of flying. Any good pilot will tell you that. The hard landing is the most hardest and can be the most dangerous part of flying. But taking off is the most dangerous, because get it wrong, you pull up too suddenly, you can end up smashing the back end of the plane or stalling the plane and stuff like that. A lot of them just do it itself now, don't it? It doesn't take off on its own. You just press a button and it just goes for you. You just have to taxi it to the runway. Oh, see, was it? Yeah, World of Trains, whatever it is now. The late, that's got steam trains on it now. A lot of people don't rate it that well, though. A lot of people say that the animation for the wheels is no good. Well, it's not realistic. What's the dog doing all the way out here? Oi! You shouldn't be out here. Go home. I saw like there's a grease mod on this as well, where you can actually grease parts up on it, but it looks a faff to get it to work. You have to go into the XMI files and all that good stuff, and I'm like, nah, thank you. I don't want to be playing about with XMI files. Thank you very much. Get it wrong, that's when you start breaking things, and then once you break them, you've got to figure out what you broke. I'll get this field done and then I'll go for a pee. That bit of stuff can stay there. I'm not going to go around picking that up. Go back in cab for a little while, and I'll go up to the next field. Backing them up, turn that PTO off. Might as well go this way. There's the thingy down. So what other stuff have you been playing then, Game Kev? So I need to go for like P now. I made a start on this and it's like, getting something here. Switch that off. I know. Shush. If I go over, he's almost done. In fact, probably already done. So, yeah, just got that little bit to do. I'll move him to the next bit and then I'll go and have a pee. I'll leave it this guy to driving. Or girl driving, I should say. Go on, old girl. Probably going to struggle on this hill, but never mind. But I will go for a quick pee break, and I'll be back as soon as I can. Right, I'm back, peeps. What did you say, Kev? You're waiting for DLC to come out for ATS? Yeah. Have you bought the trailer DLC? I think it's for ATS as well. I didn't bother with that. I thought it was a bit of a waste of money, to be honest. Just for a set of trailers. might get them if they're on a real city sale at some point, but I'm probably not going to... Not that one. Actually, did I... One thing I haven't done, I don't think, was or did I do it? And I saved it, I can't remember. Soon knows, then I'll walk over here. Oh, I haven't told you guys and girls either. We have some new additions over here. We have mini bacon factory, I mean pigs. You'd never say the B word round and they might get a bit... They might get a bit scared. Come here, let's take a slice off you. See how that bacon's going to taste. Or piggies. Anyway, there's another there. No, I placed it, but then I didn't save it, so I've got to buy another one. I did have a house over here, so I've got to do that first. I'll do that now. Is that one in it? Yeah. Construction. Where is it? There. The big shed's way too big. I know that. I did look at that. I think, oh, I want the big shed, but too big. So, how do I spin again? Oh yeah, you got to use the mouse. Yeah, that's it. There we go. Shame the door doesn't actually open and see what's inside. Oh well, it is what it is. It's got a little thingy on the top. And also, I haven't bought the equipment that you need to go with this. I've forgotten where it is actually. The miscellaneous? No. Might be under miscellaneous in here. It's those two. The soil sampler. Buy. I'm going to be keeping it. And the other bit, which is like the sprayer side of it, you stick that on and it's supposed to help with your spraying. Looks really daft. I actually tried it, but they must have based it on something that's actually legit, right? Yeah, no, I can understand that. I just thought, no, it's just not worth the money. Not for system trailers. Each their own. You'll see why people buy them, but missed a bit when I was harvesting. Oh well, it is what it is. You get the combine out just to get that tiny little bit that's there. Or the workers, if you missed a bit while combining. Can you eat oat? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Well, think about it. But the whole forestry thing was a mod. back in 2015. 2015, the previous incarnation of it. It was all pinched off a mod. That's the thing I don't like what Giants do. They get the most popular mod that's out there, and then they just, rather than sort of like going to the modder and saying, look, can we use your stuff in our next DLC and we'll give you some credit for it. They just pretend that they actually did their own stuff. They probably changed the script in a way so then the modder can't sort of recognise it and go, actually that's my mod you pinched that from. Ironically enough, my eldest sister, little one, had, I know it's a bit of a weird comparison, but her little one had a bit of a broke his arm somehow at school. Now the school's blaming him for running too fast in PE. I'd blame the school because they probably weren't watching what he was doing. If the teacher had any gumption about them, they would have said, well no, hang on mate, come on, ease that up. They probably weren't even watching, and Litland's ended up breaking his arm. And he's broken it quite badly, because if they leave it as it was, it'd heal weird, and then he'd have problems later on in his life. So it's got to have a surgery to sort of like manipulate the bone back in line, and then I think he's got to have. So they're going to have to sort of re-break it, or break it a bit more, and then either put some sort of temporary sort of like pins and stuff to keep it in place while it heals. They'll be off school because of that, or probably his whole summer's going to be ruined because of that. Okay, he's not the sharpest tool in the box. He's a bit strange as a kid, but I suspect he's got some sort of underlying learning disability or something wrong with him. But that's not his fault. The teacher should have seen the signs and went, well, okay, let's nip this in the bud before he even hurts himself. Because teachers know kids well, and they should have went, right, yeah, I can see him going to hurt himself. Let's nip that in the bud. But he probably just weren't even watching. Probably just busy doing something else. I know it's not easy for teachers, admittedly, because especially public schools. Public schools, they've got so many kids in the class at the time that trying to keep an eye on them all at the same time is going to be pretty hard. But because they don't want to admit that actually it was a slip up by the teacher wasn't really watching. As soon as they admit that, they admit liability, and then they could have a lawsuit on their hand. So they said, oh no, it's the kid's fault, running too fast or whatever, wasn't paying attention. And that's what school's good at, and that's what they've always been good at ever since I was a kid. I remember when I was very, very young, probably middle school, I was up on a wall and someone pushed me off it and I fractured my shin, and all day I was in agony, and I was telling the teachers I'm in agony and I wanted to go home, but they wouldn't have it. And the end of school comes, I hobble out, and thankfully my mum had brought my bike, the BMX, to school when she come and pick me up. And I hobbled out, and she said, "What's wrong with you?" And I said, "Well, someone pushed me off a wall." And she, because she's a nurse, she was a nurse, she took one look at my leg and she said, "That's not good." She said, "That's swollen. Let's get you in A&E, and I mean ASAP." So got to A&E, which wasn't far from school actually. It's only literally a few minutes down the road. And because she actually worked at that hospital as well, she managed to pull some strings and get me seen pretty quickly. I didn't have to sort of hang about. That's done. I think there's another field over here that it's doing. I'll grab that little bit of straw over there. But the school then didn't admit it then. It's like, well, he shouldn't have been up on the wall. Right, that is right. I shouldn't have been up on the wall. But then why didn't the teachers again, well, that would have been the dinner ladies back then. Well, not the dinner ladies, but whoever was out monitoring the kids at lunchtime. Because they weren't even anywhere near us. They were right at the other side of the playground. But my mum was more infuriated to the fact that they let me just continue with school. And she said, "You did tell him you was in a lot of pain?" I said, "Yeah. I told him I was in agonising pain. And, to get you." But they didn't listen, and they said I'd be alright. And my mum was livid about that, more than the fact that I was being silly and being on the wall. She's livid at the fact that this let me be in pain for the whole day. Never forget that, because she went right nuts at our head master back then. She was yelling at him, blue murder. I got a funny feeling there's going to be too much straw. I might not bother that field, I might just mulch it. I'll collect some more. Yeah, they've seen a mod, copy it. Put it in the next game. Most popular mod normally. Normally because what happens is the mod comes out and then everyone requests it in the next game. They say, "Oh, can we have more forestry, or can we have some of this, or can we have this, or whatever," and someone's already done a mod for it, and then they find the mod and they go, "Right, okay, yeah, we can copy that and change it in a way so then it doesn't look like we've copied it." And then next game. If they actually employed the modders, then yeah, fair game. But they don't. They won't. But mods go hand in hand with this game anyway. If Giants didn't allow for mods in this game, I think this game would have died a death a long time ago. Because people just go, oh, it's just a regen of the next, of something else. Or, you know, there isn't enough in the base game to keep you playing it for a longish amount of time. If you just had the vanilla stuff in the game, you'd be pretty bored of it pretty quick. The mods make it. But, you know, it's same for like American Truck Simulator and the Euro Truck Simulator. If SCS didn't allow for mod support in that game, I think they'd be shooting themselves in the foot, because, you know, not saying that they don't do a good job of the game, but they, you know, some of the mods in that game bring the game to the next level. And like recently with the whole, have you actually tried with a manual changing gears, and it actually shakes the wheel now? If you get the gear shift wrong, the wheel actually gets wheel shaker. Now, if someone comes out with a shifter now that actually has a rumble feature to it, that would bring the whole game to a next level, because then you could actually technically float gears a lot easier. It will never be as spot on as in real life, because in real life you can actually push up against the. You shouldn't do it on a synchro box; it wrecks them. But you shouldn't really do it on any box. Really, you should use your clutch. But even Eaton Fuller say use the clutch, but if you do float, you can push it against the face of the gear, and you just stroke it in. Feel it, actually feel the gear. You feel it just literally pop in. It's hard to explain. It's almost like when you go to put your car in reverse, when you feel that clunk. You put your car in reverse. It's like a lot like that. That's probably the easiest way to explain it for people who don't drive and haven't tried floating. I wouldn't suggest doing it, not unless your car's knackered and it doesn't really matter anymore anyway. Or if your clutch is knackered, then yeah, go for it. We call it over here. We call it power shifting, though. The States they call it floating. Over here we call it power shifting, or power matching. How's the other dude getting on with that? Let me switch this off. Yes, I know, shush. Shush. He's done, I think. Yeah, he's done over here. No, this is a bit risky doing this, because 9 times out of 10, if you start them off this end, they'll just go over the field and go into the next one. So make sure you don't do that. I think. Right, I'll do one more run. Actually, let's. Actually, will it work for this one? It might not work for this little diesel, dirty diesel. Let's go and see if we can pick it up. It's only because I like the sound of the gearbox. It's a shame there isn't an option to have just manual gearboxes on all of them. I know most modern tractors are going to have automatic boxes or CVTs or whatever they call them. Yeah. Oh, it does work. Cool. Didn't see why it wouldn't, but you never know if it's going. But, wrong kind of hitch. Now, no point putting the leads on that because I don't need them. I don't think it has got the leads in it. Oh, it does have a lead. You don't need it. Didn't even need it actually. I don't know why I put these on. I don't need them either. Using it, but just transporting it. Some farmers probably go, no, you should always connect the leads. Ah, it's turned. No, it didn't. That's the other farm. That's the turning. These ain't particularly quick though, tractors. It's like 26 miles an hour. I can get out and walk faster than this. Get my out and bike and ride faster. Now where am I going to put this? That is the leading question. Somewhere it's not going to get in my way, but somewhere tidy. Put it there for now. I've got a funny feeling I'm going to be moving this at another time. I should really go and put it next to the sprayer, really. But I'll leave it here. No, it was really face down. It's got little caster wheels. Cool. So technically, you can push that around. I might as well use this dirty diesel to do some soil sampling as it's attached. I'll leave it here for now. About that. Being indecisive if I want to use this or not, or use something else. Let's just take a couple of soil samples. Reattach the cables. Which field should we do it in? We'll do it in the grass field. Yes, I do. I do watch a farming channel. I don't watch him as much as I used to. I just watch him all the time, but I don't watch him now as much. Farmer P? I think I did actually do a shout out. It's ages back. Take a couple of samples and then I'll leave it that as that for a stream. It's getting quite late. And my phone's almost died. Or dying. It almost reminds me of Pac-Man, does, watching that screen. I was rushing it then. It's like, come on to the next bit. I know it's overlapping a bit, but I'd rather be overlapping than not get enough to field edge in. Another ironic thing is like this soil sampling thing. This was actually a paid DLC in the previous Farming Simulator, wasn't it? You had to pay to use this DLC. It's free in this. That's why I'm always a bit hesitant about buying DLCs from now. Because you think, well, it'll be free in the next game. If it's crazy cheap, then yeah, go for it. But it has to be crazy cheap. Wasn't it paid? I'm sure you had to pay for this DLC. I'm sure of it. Could be wrong. I remember it coming out on it. I can't remember the whole nitty gritty. Oh, it was free, okay. What one was the paid one then? I'm sure there was one that we paid for. And it was free, and it wasn't it the class stuff? Didn't you have to pay for the class stuff in the previous one? Oh, the Bale one. Wasn't it also the Bale mod? Wasn't that a paid DLC? Well, yeah, it's the Bale whatever thing. Yeah, class DLC, yeah. Yeah, that was paid, I'm sure that, yeah, that was paid DLC. Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely. And then that was free in the next game. Came free with it. Which I think is a bit wrong, really. Because that's the good thing about SCS and ETS and ATS. If a new truck comes out, if they make a new truck, they make it 9 times out of 10. They've always been free, the trucks. Because they see it as the trucks are part of the should have been in the base game anyway. So it's just the maps and the other extra bits you have to pay for. Not like the holding the guns you had to get either. Yeah, and the bells. Yeah, that's that whole... Because I remember paying for that, and I'm thinking actually I wasted my money. But I bought it just so then I could review it. So other people wouldn't have to. Thing is, like, giants throw that sort of stuff at people like Daggerwin and that, and all the big YouTubers. And they're just gonna go, oh well, thank you very much, giants, let me just kiss your bum. Where someone like me is gonna go, well, they gave me it, but I'm gonna be honest and be frank about this said DLC, and I think it's really worth your money. There are a few people like that, but they're all going to be a bit under the thumb deal. They can't be too overly critical. Because otherwise then Giants is just going to go, oh, well, I'm never going to give him any DLC ever again because he's really harsh. And actually they should be thinking, actually, yeah, let's listen to what he's just said. It is a bit pricey, let's put it down. Take that little bit that I've already got as well. So then equals that up a bit. trying to remember, was the forestry DLC, was that also paid for? No, it was a mod. So that's what really wound me up at the time, because I know you get a mod that actually put trees, ability to plant trees and cut trees into the game. Yeah, pay, yeah. I thought so. I'm trying to remember which Farming Simulator it was. I remember, was it that big massive mod I had once? I think it might have been 2015 or the one before 2015. With that shop. All those shops, and you get the vineyards and pick all the stuff for the crates and then put it into the shop and stuff. That was like so innovative, and then eventually they've just done it in the game. How do I fold this? It's X to fold, isn't it? Send, and it's Y to send. Yes. I'll leave this sofa by the side of the field, and then I'll switch it off, line the other guy up for the next bit of work, and I'll say goodbye to you guys and girls for the evening. It's getting quite late. Leave it over here for me. Yes, I know the wheel needs. Right, where's the other dude? Oh, he's just about finishing. So I'll jump out and leave him to it. Right, I think I'll leave it at that as a stream, peeps. Thanks for stopping by, Gaming Kev, and everyone else. I hope you all guys all enjoyed today. If you didn't enjoy it, again, put thumbs down. If you did enjoy it, put your thumbs up. I'll probably catch you guys next weekend for the next stream. I'll try again for around about 7 or 8 o'clock on Saturday, depending if I don't get snagged up with something else, but I should see you next Saturday hopefully. But for those people who are watching in the archives, if you did enjoy it, again, remember to like or dislike. If you know anyone else that may also enjoy watching this stream, again, guys and girls, please feel free to share. It helps me a lot, and I don't mind sharing. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'll see you in the next one. TTFN.